What's up guys, Jackson here at Toasty DIY, and today I'm going to be doing a little walk around and tour of my 2022 Rockwood Geo Pro 15 TB. So this is a Flagstaff ePro 15 TB or Forest River Rockwood. It just feels like it has 1,000 different names, but 15 TB is probably the most important part. That is the specific model of this trailer. So it's a 15-foot interior, but the overall length I'd say is probably closer to 17, maybe 17 and a half feet. And this thing weighs a little over 3,000 pounds, I believe, when it is fully loaded with fluids and everything. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And it comes with some really cool features standard from the factory, but there's also some cool add-ons you can do. I think all in this one brand new, which I did not buy it brand new. But brand new, I think it was close to 27, maybe 28K. I was actually able to get a pretty good deal at under 20K for it. And you know, this is a 2022 and I'm recording this in 2023. So it was probably bought new in late 2021 if I had to guess. But yeah, it's in wonderful shape. It's a fiberglass shell that I believe has a little bit of wood in it, but it's not much. Most of it's fiberglass, so pretty good build quality. Has some nice diamond plating in the front. I really haven't had any really complaints so far as like structural goes, just because it's so new. It does have a good amount of features on the outside, so I guess we'll start with the outside of this thing first. So as far as the outside goes, you do have fold-in steps that fold up and they lock in when you're on the go. They do have adjustable feet, you know, for leveling. You do have a retractable awning that is all electric, so there's no tools or anything needed for that, which is pretty nice. I believe it's an 8-foot awning. That sounds about right. And as far as, so I guess we'll just talk about it. We have a front door that does have a screen. It does have a window that has a shade. All the windows in this camper do come with shades standard that you can just pull down. They're like spring retractable, which is pretty nice. We do have a little holder right here that actually I think is designed for a grill that they include. It's like a propane grill that I'm assuming you hook up. No, those are actually 120 volt outlets. I'm not even actually sure where the propane grill hooks up to. I know that this is exhaust for the heater. Now the heater is dual element, I believe. It can run on propane or it can run on 120 volt. And this does have 2 propane tanks, or at least mine came with dual propane tanks. It does have a plastic hardcover, but I replaced it with a soft cover so that I could put this generator holder on. I did do a full video on this generator holder if you guys want to see it. Makes it very easy to install and everything. It was a nice simple process, and it does have a pretty nice tongue jack in the front. It has, I think I actually do have dual batteries. I thought I only had a single, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, I think I have 2 12 volt just lead acid batteries. I haven't done the lithium ion battery mod. I haven't really felt the need yet since I haven't really used it much. Comes standard with chains. It is a, what is this, a 7 prong with, it does have electronic braking on it, so you want to make sure you get a truck with that. It does have manual leveling jacks, so for some people that might be a deal breaker. I didn't really care too much because honestly I probably won't be leveling it out too much since I'm mostly on the go. It has a gray water tank, a black water tank, and a fresh water tank. This is the outlets for the gray and black water, and it does have a hose holder right here, which is like a little tube there. It has a low point drain, which I'm not even actually sure. I can't really quite remember how all that works. I know that this shower is for like an outdoor shower, and yeah, I'd have to do some more research on that. But I do know that you can drain the fresh water from over here. There's a valve, yeah, see, fresh water drain. And then it's that valve right there. I do love all the valves, they're very easy to use. Now, as far as hookups go, we do have some cable satellite hookups. City water connection. This is an antifreeze hookup where you can, it's like almost like a quick antifreeze process, I guess, but I've heard a lot of people say you should just put it down the sink, the toilet, and then I think honestly just fill the freshwater tank and then you're pretty much good. And then, you know, let it run through the system a little bit, of course. It takes a 30 amp 120 volt connector, which is a like turn and lock. I do have the AC on right now. I don't have it hooked up in the safest way right now, but I'm not really running anything besides the AC. All the windows do open. This one is a fire exit window, so it opens a little bit differently, but these ones, it's a nice little hand crank that I kind of do like. They'll open to about here, I think, and they open downwards to help make sure you don't get rain inside. It does have a spot for a backup camera, but it doesn't come standard. This one does have the ladder mounted from the factory, which I was surprised. I was told that most places weren't doing that anymore, but this guy said he came mounted from the factory. You got a big storage in the back here, magnetically held, which I think is a nice little feature. So we have a custom made table here, because you'll see my interior is a little bit different than the other ones. Right back here, I think this is just like a couple of electrical points, and then you got this little holder that I feel like falls over on all of them. This guy added, I don't really fully understand the reasoning, but it's like basically fans for ventilation in this area. Like I said, don't know the exact reason. He really didn't use it much. Okay, here's a table actually. So this table goes in that rail out there that I was telling you guys about. And somewhere in here, or unless you forgot to include it, there was a propane stove for the outside, like a propane grill. A couple other things, I'll show you guys the other side real quick. Just a single lock, and you can't actually lock these with the key. I think it uses the same key as the door, and the door also has a combination code that you can set. Let's see what all we got here. We got a water regulator for water pressure. We have the anti-sway hitch and everything. The full kit came with it. It might be in that bag there, would be my guess. I'm honestly not too sure. But yeah, so you got a couple of different points for getting to the storage, but it is all one big compartment. You can also get to it from the inside, but I will say it's not super easy to get to. Like I said, a 120 volt plug there. As far as the outside goes, I think that's about it. This is a, I think solar power connector. So if you want to have like external panels, let's say you park it in a garage, so your solar panels, which are up top. Actually, I want to show you guys the roof too. Oh, there's a little light here that I think I have a bad bulb. Funny enough, even though it's a new one, I don't think the bulb's good. So we'll go ahead and go up top. I think I showed you guys pretty much everything on the outside besides the top of this trailer. Let's see how good I can do this with one hand. The AC unit's pretty quiet on the outside. It's a little loud on the inside. Here's my solar panel. I think this is 100 watt. I can't remember if he upgraded or not. There's also a Wi-Fi extender up there that may also double as a satellite dish. I'm honestly not sure. You can see just like factory caulking and everything for sealant. And then I guess the AC just kind of just drips in the roof and runs down. So go ahead and climb down from here. It actually has like a little drip. Look at this drip rail right there. I guess that's from the AC right now. Pretty sturdy. The roof I haven't really gotten on, but it seems like it's fairly sturdy. I mean, it's designed to be walked on whenever they have a ladder typically. So like I said, combination, flip out handle that can flip in. It looks like it can go in. Yeah, either way. I don't really know if that matters to anyone, but I guess it's a nice feature in case you want to do it the other way for whatever reason. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this so we get the full experience. Also, it is hot out. I think it's like in the 90s and it's humid. So we're gonna go over here and press interior. So now this is like your main control panel, which I think it's, it's like a little nifty spot, I will say if you're taller, maybe taller and older, have a bad back, this could be a little annoying. I could totally see that because I'd say it's only about 3 feet up, but you have basic controls to check here. So I can check the battery level. My solar panels keep it full pretty much 24/7. Our freshwater tank level, we're 2/3 full. Black is empty, gray is empty, and there's no more buttons up there. So really simple. These are basically like paddle lights. So that's the porch light on, the awning lights, which are basically lights that run across the whole awning like an LED strip. They look really cool. Step lights for, I think down there and I think here. Yeah, that's all the lights. Here's our awning, retractable, very easy to use. And then this is basically where, so like right now our water pump's on, meaning we can go over here to the sink. And just like that. So, and the pump doesn't stay on 24/7 to my knowledge. I believe it just comes on when pressure is needed. So basically it'll prime it with, let's say 20, 30 PSI, and it won't stay on. And then as soon as you get some water out, or if you get a leak, I guess, then the pump will run. Let's see. I'm honestly not even too sure with this because I noticed it says water heater gas. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, I'm being dumb. Water heater. So this is, you can heat the water with 2 different forms. So you can use the electric water heater, which I think is only 120, or you can use your propane to heat it, or you can actually do both at the same time. So that's another way you can do it. And then there's also a tank heater, which I am honestly not even 110% sure. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, what's exactly the difference here? I'm not totally sure. We do have a dual USB out port, system, and this one is always on. As long as you have a battery, then that's always on. Now, these 120 outlets are only going to be on, there's actually a few of them around the camper, but they're only gonna work if you have a generator or you're hooked up to, just a 120 volt source. You can see here we have 2 more. This from the factory was like a solar panel controller. But to my knowledge, one of these runs those fans that I was telling you guys about down there. The other ones, the guy just never hooked up. He kind of modified it. Basically, he got there's a really cool app that you can get, and I'll show that to you guys real quick. Hold on one second. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can actually see what like the current voltage is and everything, the amperage, how many watts. I don't know if that's how many watts you're pushing or pulling. And then you can select the history, so how much you've been like discharging the batteries and everything, typical trends. I mean, it's really fancy. And I don't even remember. I'm assuming these are both the same, or like they work together in some way. I'm not really sure which one's which. I just know I can see my solar panel charge from there. So that's cool. Instead of having like a cheap little controller from there, you get a nice Bluetooth one. This right here only works for the heat, to my knowledge. Otherwise, it's really just like temperature gauge. And I think the guy replaced the guy on this before me replaced this as well. So let's keep going over the outlets. So we have 2 more outlets here. These ones are actually GFCI because we're near a water source. And then we have an inverter here. So basically, you push this on, and then you get this inverter circuit. So that means we can run the 12 volt batteries. We don't have to have any power going to the actual camper. As long as your batteries are hooked up, these will all now work. So these 2 120s will work on inverted power, meaning it changes from 12 volt to 120 volts. That's nice. It's definitely it's an interesting design. It's nifty, it's unique for sure. We got a built-in bottle opener. Love to see that. Now the microwave, I believe, only runs on 120 volt. The stove is propane. And then I don't know if there's anything else really over here. So that should be all the outlets. Let me make sure. I doubt there's any in the bathroom, but you never know. Yep, I'm not seeing any. And we'll get to the bathroom in just a minute. All right, so we'll go ahead and go over. So we do have like some random, I guess that'd be like for silverware, cooking utensils, maybe even for like a sponge, since it is right above the sink. We have a nice little area down here. We can actually see, that's kind of cool. I didn't know, I haven't really been in here. We can see sink plumbing. So we have some cleaning supplies. The drawers are fairly nice. The only thing you got to be careful about, or sorry, not the drawers, the cabinets, especially the ones up here, they tend to kind of want to sag, so you just got to be careful when you open and close them not to break them off. Microwave's fairly small. Not a bad size, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I've heard that it's a slower microwave just because it's like a lower wattage, but it's not too bad. These drawers are very cute. They don't really hold a whole lot, but hey, they're there. You do get like a glass top, and I think I have all this crap on it, so I'm sorry about that, but I believe it's a 3-burner stove. These lights all turn off and on just like this. So when you hit this toggle switch, it will turn all the lights that you have turned on. I have them all turned on right now. You get this nice little large vent here. I say little. Nice large vent. You basically open this up and you can change how fast the fan goes. And I found that if it's not a super hot night or day, whatever time of the year, it doesn't matter. If it's 70 or below, and you crack one window open in one of these, you get a lot of airflow. It creates like a vacuum, so it's pretty nice. I guess while we're over here, we'll stay over here. I'm trying not to be too ADHD. We have these from the factory, just like a little holding area. Oh, Scrub Daddy. And it works pretty nice. I guess you could put like some shoes or pots and pans up there. Let's see, I think we've gone over pretty much everything here. There's that shade I was telling you guys about. It does have a screen door that you can open and close and everything. You can separate it from the door. So yeah, we've gone over pretty much everything over here. So let's go ahead and go into the bathroom real quick. So the bathroom is, nothing really too crazy. Got a little vent up here, which I've actually never, I'm guessing you just press, yeah, okay. There's a leaf in there. So we got a little vent in there that I think, I guess you just pop it open, okay. Yeah, a little vent that you just pop open. It does have its own light in here. It's actually pretty bright. I haven't actually used that yet. This guy right here opens and closes, and this is and it's water resistant or somewhat waterproof. So you put all your toiletries and stuff in there. Toilet flush is right back here. It's a pretty basic toilet. It does actually have 2 seats though. You do have the option to, you have like a small bathtub that you could use for like your feet or a small pet. You're definitely not going to be sitting and bathing in this. And then you do have so you have the choice to, have water come from down here, and then it does have the typical drain plug where you can just get shower water, and it's a very small handle. You can get aftermarket ones. I honestly don't think we'll use it very often, but it's cool that it has it, and I do like this design. I like that. A lot of the ones I was seeing, they were very shallow, and I'm like, man, it seems like it'd be so easy to get water outside of it. So hopefully this one's safe and water resistant. I mean, this whole part's definitely 100% waterproof. The walls, maybe. I'm not really too sure. I'll have to test it out and kind of get back on that. But like I said, hopefully we don't use it too often, so it's not really an issue anyways. Now you do get a 12-volt fridge. That's definitely a good feature, because that means while you're driving and you're not hooked up to 120 volt, you can actually have a working refrigerator. You do have to turn it on with this here, and that should turn on the fridge and the freezer, I believe. Yeah. Yep, no separate switch, so it should turn on both of them. I'm not really too sure why this is in here. Maybe it's to keep that from breaking or something. I don't know. 2 ice cube trays. I have no clue if those are factory or not. But it's a really good sized fridge, and I do appreciate that you do have a freezer. A lot of campers don't have a freezer. They just have a fridge, which, I don't know. I like having both. Now you do get 2 large drawers underneath the fridge. These would definitely be great for food and maybe some more dishware, but really good sized drawers. This down here I think is a CO, CO and gas alarm. Down here, I'm honestly not even totally sure what this guy is, but I think that might be the fuse panel, maybe. I know that that's the vent, or the heater that I said can run on gas or electric. Here's another large door. The guy before me had a lot of really cool stuff in here that I'll kind of show you guys in a minute. I bought some like USB fans, for sleeping in this thing at night. A very cool little sound system. The sound system, you get 2 speakers over there, and then you have 1 outside speaker, so you can actually choose. That's why there's zones. The outside speaker's okay at best. The inside speaker's actually pretty impressive. It definitely is better than not having speakers, and they can get very loud, so I do appreciate it. You're just not going to get a ton of bass or anything. You can hook up HDMI and USB if you want to plug in like a laptop or something like that for your sound. It comes with a small TV that runs on 12 volt once again, so that means you don't need 120 for it. And the guy that I got it from did some modifications. So normally there's a Raspberry Pi up here that actually has a ton of movies and other stuff on it, but I have it unplugged because I'm kind of messing with it right now. But he had this little USB hub, and then this would plug into like a laptop or whatever you want. You can plug it into anything. He had it plugged into the Raspberry Pi, which is probably what I'll do, and then you just plug it into there for USB power. So that's a smart thing that you can do for your TV, but it does have basic connections on it like HDMI, RCA, so you can hook up even older stuff to it if you wanted to. So you do get some pretty good cabinet space. Now this whole cabinet section is connected, which I don't think is a big deal. You could always separate if you wanted to. And this is what I'm saying with these drawers. They're pretty long, and these hinges aren't like the nicest hinges in the world. So you just want to be careful when you close it. Make sure that you're actually going in the right spot. And here's that last one. It goes all the way back there. And then we get 2 large holding areas. Once again, they're not separated. It's one big area. And I actually don't even know. It looks like there might be there's some movies up here. These don't look like they're PG. We've got Johnny Depp in one of them. And then over here we have 2 more large areas. So it looks like it's about the same size, almost cabinet-wise. You get 3 over here, you get 2 over here. They do go all the way back. The previous owner included like a bunch of kits with like fuses and stuff like that. So awesome stuff. These are actually Kicker brand too, by the way, which is a great brand. Like I said, emergency exit window. And then you have these 2 are actually separate windows, which I just now realized, and you basically just turn them. You don't have to worry about locking them or anything. They seal very tight on their own. Here's those shades. They hide back here, and then just pull them down, and then pull it again to get them back up. They work pretty well, and they're not bad looking either. Now, the bed, this is a lot different than the factory. I still have the factory stuff, but from the factory, you don't have the bed coming this far out. It only comes to about here, because from the factory, you have 2 long cushions, and then I think maybe 1 more cushion in the middle. Basically, it makes like a giant U. And it comes with this massive table that a lot of people say isn't even worth having. So as you can see, if you wanted to make like a giant bed with the factory setup, you'd lay your table on these. Now what the guy did was he had an 8-inch memory foam bed. And I don't think it's like custom made, but I do think it's kind of a weird full. He said it was like an $800 bed, so it's very nice. And then he ended up making these for it. So basically this area here was, your bed was one height, and then you still had some sitting area. And then he had like a small one of these tables that clips right here and it comes up and you can move it around. And then he also made a table that fits perfectly where I'm sitting right now. And we decided, just because it's not very good for fitting 2 people in a bed this small, like it can work, but it wasn't quite great. You know, from the factory you lay this way, it just isn't very comfortable. So a lot of people will get nicer cushions. I didn't want to get rid of this super nice bed in all honesty, and try to make something else for the factory. So we basically just bought this foam and then wrapped with like a marine grade like canvas. And so now it's the same height. It's basically, like I said, I think this is 10 inch and these were like 2 or 3, so then we got like 6 inch, and yeah, now they're the same height, so we can lay this way, or if there's just one of us, we could lay that way. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Here's that storage I was telling you guys about that you can get to from in here. Like I said, you really can't do a whole lot with it, but you know, it's accessible. I'm not even sure what this is, some type of hose hookup. Just some extra stuff included. Oh, there's one more 120 volt outlet down here. That's nice to know. And I think that this one, yeah, it doesn't look like it's inverted. It just looks like it's just a standard 120. So once again, to use it, you would need power. So, man, I think I pretty much went over everything. Yeah, well, this video is, we're at 21 minutes in almost. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you like the camper. Hopefully I'll get some more videos of it soon. We are going to be driving it 6,000 miles soon. We're going to be pulling it with the 2017 Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. So I'll probably do some live streaming and some vlog updates and stuff like that of how it's going. But I don't really expect to have any problems. Oh, this is one other cool thing. I don't know if this was separate or if it came with it, but it monitors the trailer's tire pressure and like the temperature and all that good stuff. So really good for knowing if you're going to get a flat or something like that. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out the main YouTube channel and Toasty Clips. See you all later. Peace out.